What? You don't know this song.
Go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another season of Idol Banter. It's a show where we tell you what we thought about this week's American Idol and who some of our favorites are. And this was the premiere of the season 2, the ABC reboot. We already have some favorites.
Who knew? I really like the way that they're doing these audition episodes, focusing more on talent rather than jokes. I think there was one joke the whole thing. But I'm going to give one of my favorites first. This would be my third favorite of the night, and her name is Margie Mays. Yeah, she's a little bit wacky. She burps and she coos like a gassy pigeon. But listen, I don't find her that annoying. I know it's either people find her really annoying or very endearing. I don't think it's fake. I think it's just her. That's fine. And it's a singing show, and she has a really good voice. She has good breath control. I think the way that she was singing that song, like I could see, like took a lot out of her. So I think she has good breath control, and I think she knows what type of song she wants to do, and she picked kind of an unknown song, Shot by Lawrence, which I just checked out after her performance, which is actually a really good song. So I like that she can pick obscure songs and stay in her range. And, the unique personality doesn't bother me. It never bothers me. And
I like her performance style.
Her stomping and...
When she started singing and she started, like, moving her hands and the way she was, like, walking around and stuff. Like, she was really into it. I really like when people get into it when they perform.
Yeah, I think she picked a good lane for herself to start out. And people are going to remember that, whether they hate it or they loved it. That's one of the auditions that you'll remember. So I think that bodes well for her possible chances. But that was not one of Rebecca's top 3, apparently.
When I heard Johanna Jones, she's the potato chip girl.
Me and Mrs. Jones.
When I heard her start singing, she was like, I think only the second one of the night. She right away was my favorite over Walker. Because Walker I also liked, but we're gonna get back to him. But Johanna, I think she has such a great range. I love how she started kind of like calm and low, and then her voice went up and down, and it sounded beautiful.
Yeah, it did.
And you don't have anything to say about her, do
No,
you?
it did sound beautiful. She'd probably get an honorable mention from me, since we're only doing 3. But I felt like there were more... I thought that there were more special moments in the other 3 performances that I picked. In their voice, it touched me more than her performance. No doubt she has a great voice, but the other performance moved me more than hers. But she did have a very nice voice, and we'll see what happens.
And which one moved you?
And another one that moved me, Rebecca said that was the second of the night, but the first of the night, Walker, Texas Ranger. Walker Burroughs. Okay, so generally on singing shows, I get mad at WGs, white guys with guitars. But WGs, WPs, which isn't what you may think, white guys with pianos, that's something I could get by. And he got on the piano, and again, just like Margie, he sang a song that I don't think many people know, and I didn't know until I looked it up, Love Like This, by I forget the name now.
It's a beautiful song. Is it Lawrence?
Rector. Ben Rector.
Oh, the other one was Lawrence.
Yeah, Ben Rector. It's a beautiful song, and he got on the piano, and he just delivered it in a way I don't think you would expect. There was a lot of maturity from just like a college nerdy kid from Alabama. There's a lot of maturity in his voice and his style, and it was a very like strong, controlled performance that I think, especially in auditions, it's hard to do. And he's very likable. I think he's very humble. And I always like that in the contestants when he said, "Oh, good heavens," that was kind of funny. I thought that was...
I don't even remember him saying that.
It was like, she said, "Your top 10 material," and he was like, "Oh, good heavens." So I like that about him. Like, I like his personality, but I also think, like, he has a great voice, and his likability factor and the fact that he has a strong voice and he seems to know what type of lane he wants to be in. Again, I think that's the most important thing. Anyone could have a great voice, but it's important to know what lane you want to be in, and that song that he picked suited him perfectly. And if he's gonna be playing on the piano more, because he also sang Hello on the piano, then I think he's gonna be, you know, a fan favorite. If he can make it past Hollywood Week, then I think yeah, I think he will be a fan favorite.
I hope he does. We haven't had a lot of singers that play with the piano. Usually it's only like a once in a while thing on the show. So it'd be nice to see somebody who kills it on the piano. Even though probably not every week, you also gotta step away from the instrument at some point.
Yeah, but people bring the guitar out every week, so, or like 80%.
You gotta step away from the guitar too.
So yeah, I like him on the pianos.
And then I think we'll move on to Myra Tran or Trans?
Tran, I think.
Myra Tran from Vietnam. When I saw her, right away I kind of liked her style. Like, she got that like 90s pop star look to her. Reminds me of Selena. Not Selena Gomez.
Not Selena Gomez. Okay.
Selena Quintanilla. Her style, I mean, style is just whatever, but right away when I saw her, I thought she might be like a little bit of an old soul, which I liked. And then when she started singing, oh my gosh, that big ballad voice, absolutely gorgeous. I was moved. That high note.
She was transfixed.
Yes.
By Mika Trans.
I hope we see a lot, Myra.
Myra Tran.
I hope we see a lot more of her.
Of course, she had a great voice, and she was like, they always have like, not always, but they always have like a little girl who just has like a monster voice. Not always, but every now and then they pull out that stunt, and she has a great voice.
But yeah, she has the maturity behind it too. It's not just the voice.
Right. The thing I'm worried about with her is that with Jessica Sanchez, she started out like all flames going, all blazes going, and she made it to the finale. So I guess for all I know, that Myra can make it to the finale too. But it just seems like these young girls with big voices, sometimes they play it too safe by picking just like diva songs and don't always show off different styles to themselves.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. She definitely has a great voice, and she definitely, you know, was a standout for the first night of auditions. The other people's styles I preferred, like the next one, the two I mentioned, and the ones that we agreed on that we're about to talk about. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
I would have to agree with you. She's really gonna have to leave her comfort zone if she wants to make it far in the competition. I think that goes for everybody too.
Right.
They can't do the same thing, the same style every week. They're going to have to show that they have an ability to be versatile.
Speaking of versatile and different, this was my favorite audition of the night. I think it was Rebecca's, like, maybe second.
I think it's second at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be Laci K. Booth. You gotta love a girl with 3 names.
It's a good name, too.
Actually, the moment I saw her, there was something that I thought, like, she was going to be good.
You liked her outfit.
Not only did I like her outfit, but I just liked her style. I could tell that she was going to be, like, a classic country singer. She just had the face of someone who would have a unique voice. And she did. And I love unique voices. Like, I love hearing voices that are very recognizable to people. Like, we loved Maddie last year, and I think she had one of the more recognizable voices of the season. And so I just love people who just have like a unique voice that just stands out from the crowd, and when they have that voice and then also have control of it, it's great. And again, like all the others I mentioned, she stayed in a lane that if she continues to stay in, I think she'll continue to do great. And of course, you've got to jump out of your comfort zone every now and then. But she sang a classic country tune, Mama Tried, and Yeah, and I thought it was great. She had like a little, I forget the word they used, like a little, not squeak in her voice, but a little like something or other, like this little endearing,
Yeah.
I don't even know what the word is.
She sounded so classic country, and she didn't like necessarily sound like her, but she reminded me like that squeak in her voice or whatever it is. It reminded me a little bit of Dolly Parton, even though it's not like she doesn't sound like her. Like the style is so classic. So I really enjoyed her. She's somebody that I think I could listen to her album.
Yeah, and that I think is also important to remember. Like these people, if they're gonna win and put out albums, then I think she's someone who would find success because it's a lot easier to find success. Maybe not a lot easier, but it seems to be easier to find success in like the country lane than other lanes for these contestants. And I think, people like that type of music. So when for someone like Myra, who has a great voice, if she just sings like diva ballad after diva ballad, she can't just sing diva ballads on the radio all the time. For me, someone like Laci is just, in a lane that she definitely can find success in if she goes far in the competition, or even if she doesn't. If people know her name and she puts out music, then people will listen because she has a very soothing voice too, which I think it's just very easy to listen to and just kind of grooves with you. So
on that note, I think we want to know, who were your favorites of the American Idol season 2 premiere?
Whose tickets would you take away? We didn't talk about that.
Oh, we did not talk about that.
I'll just say.
Should we?
I mean, I'll say quickly, I would take away, I think his name was Tyler, white guy with guitar, who got
I knew
through.
You were not going to like it.
They liked him. To me, he was very bland. He had a fine voice, but I'm sure a million people in the world have the same fine voice as he does. So, yeah, maybe you could give him a trip to Hollywood, but I don't want him taking up time when it gets to, like, the top 10, and I want to hear, like, originality and different. And he also seemed like, I don't know, his attitude kind of, like, rubbed me the wrong way. Was there anyone that you didn't, like, there were two others that I didn't think would make it, but...
The guy who didn't know who Lionel Richie was, did he make it through?
Yeah, that was just ridiculous.
He was okay.
He seemed like a joke, and then he tried to pretend that he was Lionel Richie's biggest fan, and he didn't know like one Lionel Richie song. He didn't even know
That's
Hello.
what bothered me about him, was that he first he said that he was his favorite.
How do you not even know Hello?
And then he said you didn't even know a song by him. It was just like he was trying to kiss ass, but...
Yeah, so I would take away his ticket just for that. And I thought it was a joke at the beginning anyway. And then I would take away the guy with the really long name. I think his name was like Uki or Uche.
Oh, was he the one that said Prince was his idol?
Yeah. I thought he was also mediocre to not good. So I'd take away their tickets just to be a meanie.
And that's our first episode of Idol Banter of the season. Let us know down in the comments, who are your favorites? And is there anybody you would take away their golden ticket from? You meanie? You co-meanie like us? And we'll see you next week. And we'll also see you for more movie stuff. We're not abandoning the movie world, don't you worry. You know that your mic was pointing at your boobs the whole time?
It's okay.